Well, hey everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Esoteric Influences for the week of the 25th of October through the 31st. Well, the 31st, of course, is Samhain or Halloween or All Hallows Eve, so that's a wonderful time. It's my favorite time of the year, really. October is my month. I was born in October, so I just everything about October is just so cool to me. I don't know. I love the passage of this of one season to the next, and this is a wonderful time for finishing up the harvest. Although we still have some stuff out there in the winter garden that we'll harvest as we can throughout the winter. Still have some cabbage to pick. The cauliflower isn't quite done yet, and the broccoli is heading up nicely. Some of it we're harvesting spears off of. So anyway, that's what we're doing. But today's numerology is a 7. The rune is, let's see. I did a picture for this and I on the blog, and so I had to move my runes around. But here's Manaz. It kind of looks like Vunyo, forward and reversed. You can see Gebo in the middle. But let's see, the moon is in Aquarius until this afternoon at 2:19 when it shifts into Pisces. And the geomancy rune for the day, let me get Albus out here. Is this it here? That's Rubeus, but we'll turn it upside down for Albus. And then we'll keep it out because Rubeus is further on in the week. Let's see. I'm just going to turn these over here. Oh, here's Albus. But basically, we have a 7 numerology for today, suggesting finding balance by taking an observer role, particularly if truth is lacking. However, remain mindful of who you are in relation to others by seeking a wise and integrated approach. The wisdom would be the Albus reference, and Manaz would be the integrated approach. An intellectual focus is preferable in the morning hours, with emotions perhaps stirring up in the afternoon. When the moon travels from Aquarius into sensitive and compassionate Pisces. You go from not understanding emotions to being filled with them, basically. As that transition occurs, you may feel like nurturing others, which is the moon conjunct Ceres, supported by the ability to communicate your feelings and thoughts in a compassionate manner. And that's the moon trine Mercury, which of course is in retrograde. So kind of allow for the loosening of of things making sense, and it's one of those don't take the bait. Although you may find yourself accepting the current situation as it is, you'll want to avoid aligning with negative relationships that are manipulative at best and impede both ambition and success. Remain adaptable while focusing on details necessary in achieving your objectives. Seek a higher authority if more clarity is needed. And that is the human design influence for today and the I Ching influence for Sunday. Now, moving on to Monday. Let's see. Let's get my geomancy rune out here. Moving on to Monday, it's the 26th of October, a moon day, and we have an 8 energy for the day. Yira, let's find Yira. Oh, it's over here. Yira is the rune for the day, so kind of some interesting integrated energy with others. It's an as above, so below rune. And then the moon is, of course, in Pisces still, and the geomancy rune is Vaya. Or taking it can mean alignment, it can mean a new path. If asked to take a leadership role on Monday, though, which is both the 8 energy and Vaya, it's likely because you understand the greater picture at hand and choose harmony and protection over self-interest. As you safely engage on a shared path with others today, offer assistance where needed, but again, do so taking all precautions, which would be the energy of Yura. With the moon still in Pisces on Monday, express compassion and empathy toward others in need, and if empathic, pay attention to the energies surrounding you. Although a sextile between the moon and Uranus offers an opportunity to express yourself as well as originality and your to express yourself as well with originality in your own personal style. This may not always be understood by others less sensitive than you are. And that's the moon semi-square Pluto. Pluto has a big effect. And how we come across, especially if we're emotional about it or we're feeling emotional, it can impact how we come across. And so not everybody, if you're dealing with somebody who's not so into emotions like an Aquarian, well, they may not understand where you're coming from. Set an example for others on Monday, however. Avoid aligning with negative forces to achieve your goals. Your fundamental values will guide you forward as you maintain harmony through adversity. And be a leader who readily recognizes another's talent that can inform a collective understanding of shared truth. And that's the influence of the I Ching on the human design chart for, on Monday. Moving on to Tuesday, we have a numerology of 9. There was Rubeus. So Rubeus is our geomancy rune. But Thurazaz, the third rune of the Elder Futhark, is the rune for Tuesday. So kind of breaking through, frustrations and challenges and all of that. The moon is still in compassionate and sensitive Pisces. And again, we have some, intense energy with Rubeus, maybe a little misuse of force, maybe trying to be controlling. But that can be positive and negative, by the way. But with Tuesday's 9 energy, it may have you feeling as if one phase is ending and another is beginning. As something new unfolds, remain focused on your ideals and express yourself with generosity and compassion. Break through frustrations on Tuesday. It's a Mars energy day. That might arise by controlling impulsive action, which is Thurazaz and both Rubeus influencing there. However, stand against opposition that isn't in service to a shared path. Explore creative outlets for self-expression on Tuesday, even if others don't understand your approach. Again, the Pisces moon influence. Your emotions may still be at the surface today, and you may need to establish some boundaries with others, particularly if frustrations occur, and that's the moon semi-square the sun. That said, a sextile between the moon and Jupiter has you feeling generous and optimistic, while the same with Pluto suggests that you can choose your own path. So if people aren't as receptive as you'd like today, take time for yourself. You deserve it. On this Tuesday, the 27th of October, my youngest son's birthday. So happy birthday. If in a leadership role with others on Tuesday, remain consistent so that expectations are clear and understood. Act with integrity so that if you do need to step outside the norm, it will be well received by others. However, avoid a demanding attitude, realizing that any success may be at the expense of your relationships with others, and that's the human design and I Ching influences for Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, the 28th of October, we're looking at a 1 energy. 28 reduces to 1 in this 22 years. So a 1 for the month, a 1 for the day, and a 22 for the year. So lots of unified, profound soul level change today on Wednesday. Alyiz, the 15th rune of the Elder Futhark, is the rune for the today. It's a higher self rune, higher self-oriented rune. The moon is in Pisces just a short time until 1:45 a.m. So when you wake up, it'll be in Aries. So spring into action there. And the Cauda Draconis, the south node of the moon geomancy rune, the tail of the dragon, meaning karma or the end of the matter, or it's sometimes considered an evil influence, but we won't here. That's the geomancy rune for Wednesday. So on Wednesday, not everything may be as it seems as you allow new perceptions to take hold while you embrace unity with others. That's the 1 energy. Shift your perceptions toward a higher level of understanding. That's also Alyiz. Let go of that which no longer serves, which is Cauda Draconis, and draw inspiration from the collective aspect of self, allowing the voice of inner truth to inform your choices and decisions. And that's Alyiz again. So with the moon, as we said, transitioning into Aries early in the morning, hopefully you're not up at that hour, you're asleep. You may still experience the need to take time for yourself on Wednesday. Although an opposition between the moon and Venus indicates that you may feel torn between taking care of self and others, personal issues may be at the forefront of your mind, and a brisk walk may help in working them out. As the day continues, remain focused so that you preserve the progress you've made. Maintain a generosity of spirit so that you recognize input from a variety of sources that will assist you in that regard. Stability, in fact, is best preserved from a shared understanding of truth. Therefore, continue on Wednesday to avoid relationships that impede or otherwise negatively impact a positive outcome. And that's counsel from the Human Design and I Ching chart for Wednesday. Now, Thursday is the 29th of October. Now, Thursday, we don't want to reduce that. Well, Thursday reduces to 11. Basically, the 29 reduces to 11, and we don't want to reduce that any further to a 2 because 11 is the master number for illumination and awakening. Let's see. I need to find my Emissio. Is the rune. The Geomancy rune. Degas is the 23rd rune of the Elder Futhark. It's Thursday's rune. Sort of energy at its saturation point becomes its opposite. So the end of one period and the beginning of another. The energy at its saturation point becomes its opposite is not my interpretation. That's somebody else's. And I don't know who. I have to still look and figure that out. I should have written it down and I didn't. Usually I'll note, and I don't know why I didn't that day when I was writing things down that I was reading. But the moon is in Aries all day long, and the Geomancy rune is Emissio, and Emissio can be loss, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean emotional loss or financial loss. It can mean the loss of something. So maybe a situation that's problematic is no longer happening. So you could look at it that way. That would be Emissio happening there, the loss of or the ending of something. So in one sense, it then aligns well with one side of the Degas rune for today. So a master number day on Thursday, the 11 energy promises illumination and awakening. Remain sensitive to synchronicities and the spiritual message that they bring. A new day of profound awakening is here, so be prepared to think outside the box as you resonate to new spiritual truth, and that's Degas. With the moon in Aries continuing today, be sure to watch for new opportunities to unfold on Thursday, remaining optimistic and engaged. Express your leadership and guidance, but allow for the input of others to foster a more inspired viewpoint. And that's the moon conjunct Mars, sort of getting will and emotion aligned together and supporting one another. Grandiosity can have a negative impact on success, and although this is a weak aspect today, the moon square Jupiter reminds you to use the Aries energy in a disciplined manner. Thursday's Human Design I Ching chart discusses the Aries effect further by suggesting that the downside of allowing Aries energy to run amok is the risk of abusing your power with others. Although you might feel that a more assertive or even aggressive response might get you over the goal line more quickly, it'll likely negatively impact the trust you've built with others, and that's a representation again of Emissio. You would lose trust, in other words. Be clear on your values, allowing them to guide your decisions, and understand that the proper use of timing may be the biggest factor on Thursday in your success. Lead others in a manner that avoids superficiality and preserves both innovation and group unity. Now, moving on to Friday, let's see what we have here. Oh, Caput Draconis. The north node of the moon is our Geomancy rune, but let's go ahead and start with numerology first. The 3 energy for the 30th day. We have a 3 for the numerology, 1, 3, and 22. Tiwaz, the spiritual warrior within. The 17th rune of the Elder Futhark is the rune for Friday. We are in Aries until the moon transitions into Taurus at 2:19 p.m. in the afternoon, Pacific Daylight Time. And again, the Geomancy rune for Friday is Caput Draconis, or New Beginnings. So The Aries moon in the morning on Friday and early afternoon aligns well with Friday's 3 numerology as it provides the energy for a new path forward, which is again Caput Draconis, full of both optimism and ambition. Tiwaz, as a spiritual warrior within, defines this further, suggesting that we emphasize higher ideals that preserve and protect the health and well-being of others, also aligning well with the moon's shift into Taurus. Your motivation transitions into a more stable or grounded energy in the afternoon when the moon travels from Aries to Taurus, when patience and a practical approach is favored. But while the moon is still in Aries, in opposition with Mercury indicates the need to stop and think before interacting with others on Friday. A square with Saturn may help with the moon's transition into Taurus by slowing things down a bit, causing you to settle into more practical concerns in the afternoon when the moon shifts. If feeling drawn in multiple directions on Friday, establish boundaries that reflect your integrity, strength, and discipline so that everyone's needs are respected as well as your own. Intuition may help as well to understand the greater picture as you recognize patterns that lead to mastery and success. And that's from the Human Design and I Ching chart for Friday. Now, we had Amicio already, but today we're going to have Acquisitio, acquisition or gain, as our geomancy rune on this 4 energy All Hallows Eve Samhain celebration day. On Saturday, the 31st of October, happy Halloween, happy Samhain. We have Rado, the 5th rune of the Elder Futhark, as we make our soul journey together, perhaps into the nether worlds as the veil becomes thinnest on this day. It also happens again at Beltana. The moon is fully in Taurus all day long, and again the geomancy room is Acquisitio on Saturday. So, blessed Samhain, everybody, as we celebrate the transition from the light of summer to the darkness of winter. It's harvest time and All Hallows Eve, where the veil is again thin, and our ancestors who have already passed are closest. Pay homage to their loving influence and welcome their blessings. Again, Acquisitio there. A 4 numerology on this day describes our interconnectedness with the earth and her children. Take stock of the year and your own spiritual harvest and make plans for the future. Although our celebration will likely take a different focus this year, given the impact of the virus, we can still reach out to others on this day and share blessings. Each one is a member of our soul family, and this is the time to express gratitude to all, and that's the influence of Rado coming in. With the moon in stable Taurus on Saturday, routine will be important, but in the form of ritual, as you celebrate this healing time by going within and speaking to ancestors who have long ago passed through the veil. If you're feeling at loose ends, it's likely the influence of the moon opposite the sun and the tension that the will creates with your emotional side, but let it pass. Use the energy instead to focus on the future. Be prepared for the unexpected to occur, and above all, be spontaneous and open to new experiences. And that's the moon conjunct Uranus. You never know in ritual who's going to come through on this blessed day. Both the placement of the moon and the earth in the Human Design chart today, on Saturday rather, ask you to recognize and adapt to new patterns and ideas based upon the North Node influence on a new shared path. Be mindful of your heritage and tradition and the influence it has on establishing a firm framework with others. With intuition strong on Saturday, understand the collective interests that can lead others toward a shared truth. Again, all from the Human Design and I Ching chart for Saturday, the 31st of October. And with that, we end a month. And we begin anew next Sunday on the first day of November. Tuesday, the 3rd, is Election Day. If you have not done so and you can, please vote. Vote early. I mean, if the only time you can vote and you do that, you don't do this by mail like we do in Oregon. Our vote's already been received. We checked it online. But please do vote. We have a chance now to reset the course and to bring compassion back into our experience here in this country. We have to survive this virus, and we're well over 200,000 people that have died. We don't need to lose any more, and we know that we will between now and when hopefully hopefully a new president is inaugurated on January 21st. So, again, use this time to realign your perceptions and understand the truth and the necessary shared path that we need to take together, and make your voice heard in that regard. And please do vote. And other than that, wear a mask if you go out around anyone at all, no matter where you are, whether you're inside or out. The virus is spiking up dramatically around the country, and we're not out of the woods yet. So they're saying that it's going to be much worse before it gets better. So please stay safe and keep everyone safe around you by wearing a mask, not just a face shield only, but a mask, please. And have a good week. We'll talk again at Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune on Monday, and otherwise we'll talk again next Sunday when we do this all over again. Check out my blog at Stepping Aside. steppingaside.com is the web address, and click subscribe here. I'd love you to do that, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.